Just look at the power from Head.
Entering the world of timber sports in Australia in 2015, Jamie Head was determined to make a mark on the competition. And at the Queensland qualifying event for the 2015 Australian Championship, he did just that.
We were so excited that we actually got the opportunity to get up there on the big stage and do all 6 disciplines, and especially I think most of the guys and myself were just so keen to get out there and run a hot saw.
With his sights set firmly on a top 2 position, Head won the stock saw.
It's Head by a hair.
And the single buck.
He really is the king of the single buck. This is going to be tight. And he's done it in 1868. That is a new Australian record.
Coming into the final discipline, Head sat 1 point behind Mitch Argent with a solid cut ensuring him victory.
This could be an Australian record, and it is 8.55.
Head joined Argent at the top of the leaderboard. A stock saw off saw Head claim the win over Argent and the Queensland qualifying title. Heading into Bathurst, the stage was set for a battle royale at the first Australian Championships.
I think the top 8 guys in Australia has been really tough to break into. You know, I think that there's some great guys around the world, but there's no 8 guys as good as what there is in Australia in one competition, and that it's just such a hard top 8 to, you know, actually get to the top and have a win.
In the springboard, Head finished mid-pack, but it was a DQ in one of his pet events that derailed his campaign.
We've got a DQ on stand 1.
I worked so hard on that event, and it just breaks your heart. I think to be at the top of your game in timber sports, it takes a few things. I think one thing with timber sports is real mental preparation and mental toughness. If you make a mistake, which can quite easily happen, it's really hard to get over that and just move on to the next event.
And it's that mental toughness that served him well. With consistent top 5 finishes in the standing block, single buck,
probably has a slight lead,
and underhand chop, he still needed a solid hot saw cut to work himself out of 8th position overall.
Head's in the lead, steers his cut out, and Head sets it with a time of 8:30.
A 2nd place in the hot saw gave Head a 5th position overall and awarded him with a spot in the Chopperoos team for the World Championships. In Poznan, Poland, the Chopperoos took to the stage against the best teams in the world.
Obviously, to put the green and gold on, that's the pinnacle of any Australian athlete. You know, to get out there and represent your whole country, you know that you're really in the top of your sport, and it's extremely important to each and every one of us to represent the green and gold to the best of our ability.
And the Chopperoos did just that. Coming up against arch rivals New Zealand, they gave it everything in the grand final. Jamie Head held the role of stock sawyer for the Chopperoos. It was the first international taste of success for Head and brought that winning feeling.
To just pip New Zealand in the final to win the gold medal, that was the greatest achievement that I've had in timber sports.